I'm going to tell you something I've never said out loud. Not to my son, not to anyone. Because some truths, they sit in your chest like stones, heavy, silent, waiting. This is about a ring, a simple, worn-out piece of gold that meant nothing to the world, but everything to me. I sold it, not for myself, for my son. And he never knew, until it was too late. 26 years ago, my husband slipped this ring on my finger. It wasn't gold-plated, it wasn't studded with diamonds. It was plain, scratched, secondhand. But when he held my hand that day, he looked into my eyes and said, "I don't have much to give you, but I promise I'll never leave." And he didn't. Not when the roof leaked, not when we ate rice and salt for dinner, not when the whole world turned its back on us. He stayed until cancer didn't give him a choice. After he died, I had nothing left of him except this ring. It became my anchor. Every time life crushed me, I'd touch it, feel its weight, and I'd whisper to myself, "You survived him leaving. You can survive anything." But I was wrong. My son grew up fast, too fast. He had dreams bigger than our crumbling walls, eyes brighter than our dim light bulb. He studied under streetlights when the power went out. He walked 5 miles to school because we couldn't afford the bus, and he never once complained. But I saw it, the shame in his eyes when his friends talked about college, the way he'd go quiet when they asked, "Where are you applying?" One night, I heard him crying, softly, like he didn't want me to hear. I stood outside his door, fists clenched, heart shattering. He whispered into the darkness, "I'm sorry, Dad. I'm sorry I can't make you proud." That's when I knew. I had to do something, even if it killed me. I couldn't sleep that night. I stared at the ceiling, counted cracks, prayed to a God I wasn't sure was listening. And then I looked at my hand, the ring. At first, I pushed the thought away. No, not this, anything but this. But my son's face kept flashing in my mind, his tears, his dreams dying in silence. At sunrise, I made my decision. I sat on the edge of my bed, hands trembling. I twisted the ring slowly. It didn't come off easily. 26 years of wearing it, my skin had molded around it. I pulled harder. It hurt, but I didn't stop. When it finally slipped off, I stared at my finger, bare, naked, like a part of my soul had been ripped away. I whispered, "Forgive me, just this once." The jewelry shop smelled like metal and greed. The man behind the counter didn't look at me, just at the ring. He weighed it, examined it under a light, then he said, "This is all it's worth." The number he gave me, it was nothing, but it was enough. Enough for my son's first semester. Enough to keep his dream alive. I took the money, folded it carefully, and walked out. My hand felt wrong, empty, like I'd sold a piece of my husband's soul. But when I handed that money to my son, when I saw his face light up, when he hugged me and said, "Thank you, Ma, I'll make you proud," I told myself it was worth it. He never asked where the money came from. I never told. Years passed. He graduated, got a job, built a life. He bought me things, a new phone, a shawl, even a ring once, gold, shiny, expensive. He placed it on my finger and said, "You deserve the best, Ma." I smiled that I never wore it, because the best ring I ever had was already gone, and no amount of gold could replace what it meant. Last November, I collapsed. Heart attack. The doctor said I was lucky to be alive, but lying in that hospital bed, I didn't feel lucky. I felt tired, so tired. My son sat beside me every day, holding my hand. One afternoon, he looked down at my bare finger, and he asked softly, "Ma, where's your wedding ring? The one you always wore?" I froze. For years, I'd avoided this question, but now I had no strength left to lie. So I told him everything. He didn't say anything at first, just stared at me. Then his face crumbled. Not anger, not shock, regret. The kind that breaks a man from the inside. He covered his face with his hands, and he cried, "I made you sacrifice everything, and I didn't even know." I reached for his hand. I wanted to tell him, "It's okay. You were worth it. You'll always be worth it." But my throat closed. My chest tightened. The machine started beeping. I never woke up. The last thing I remember was my son's hand in mine and the empty space where my ring used to be. After I died, he searched for it. Every pawn shop, every jeweler in the city. He spent thousands trying to find that one cheap, scratched ring. But it was gone, lost forever. Some sacrifices are not meant to be returned. They are only meant to be felt. And now, every time my son looks at his success, every time he wears a suit, drives his car, lives the life I gave him, he sees it. The empty space on my finger, the price I paid in silence, the love he realized. Too late. Some mothers don't ask for gratitude. They just hope you'll remember.